We're back, this time with a new post. This one's called DM Wants to Kill Our PCs. So recently, one of the DMs that run a game strange. So recently, one of the DMs that run a game I'm in told us that it is the DM's job to kill the player characters. I had tried asking them about it, but they assumed I was wanting not to have any risk or danger be presented to my character, which isn't true. I actually don't mind the danger as it makes things more realistic. I just think that the whole wanting to kill our characters, even from the start, has seemed off. Them finally bringing up the whole DM's job was a couple sessions ago, when they had buffed up a regular enemy, then doubled them up because the Warlock killed the first one too quickly last time. Okay, these enemies have a multi-attack that could poison the target, but then the DM gave them a breath weapon through a potion that had an undisclosed number of charges. Luckily, I had been in the combat encounter as well, so it was a 2v2, but the enemy barely targeted me despite being the closest. Safe to say the Warlock was almost down from having his max hit points pretty much depleted. After the session ended, that's when they told us that it's their job to kill our characters however they think would work. Should I be concerned by this, or is this supposed to be? No. I mean, generally, you don't want to kill the PCs, but sometimes you might. I don't know if necessarily the job of a DM is, in my eyes, easy to explain to people, because I feel this person, their DM, may have interpreted the DM's job as providing challenge that could kill. I think I'm looking into that in the best possible way, because if you're into it just to kill the players, I would say that's bad etiquette. I think the other problem I find with this post is maybe it's just the way the person, the OP, wrote it, but it seems, according to this person, their perspective is that there was supposed to be one enemy, then it got killed, and they put another enemy there. I mean, I won't lie that I haven't done that before, but the way they did it seems to have caused a problem here. And as a DM, I feel like it's your job to keep the game going as smoothly as possible. And I think them doing it the way they did it caused a problem, in my eyes. Look, I'm not even saying you shouldn't do any of the stuff they did, to be honest. I don't really have... As a player, no one died, and I don't think the players in the game have a problem with that. I think what the player has a problem with is their mentality of trying to kill the players. And I don't know if that's really a problem. I don't think that's a problem. I think as a player, if you're okay with that, as your DM wanting to kill your characters, it should be fine. Let's read some comments. The first one, ASDF0716, not a fan of that name, says, sadly, he's not the first DM in history that saw that as their job. I've never understood it, and I think it says a lot about the DM. If you look closely, you will probably find that there are usually assholes outside the table as well. I feel like that's a massive generalization. Anyway, personally, I think a DM's job is to tell a challenging and engaging story filled with risk, reward, setbacks, victories, adventure, and to make sure everyone's having fun. I would never play at a table where the DM thought his foremost job was a TPK. Like I said, I think him saying the guy's an asshole is a bit much, and I also think him saying this commenter saying that the DM thought their foremost job was a TPK, I think is an exaggeration. Look, I'm not saying I'm on the side of the DM. I'm definitely not, but I think that's the most furthest logical argument this guy could make. I don't think his foremost job, I don't think he might not think that. He might just think that, like I was saying before, that he wants to challenge the players, and by that he wants to, his goal is to kill them, but he doesn't necessarily mean to TPK the party. I'm trying to provide a all encompassing perspective. Like, I'm trying to make excuses for the guy when I probably shouldn't. I don't know. So, someone else commented, week-old frozen bread. That's a great name. I see. It's not that uncommon. And yeah, I would think it's about the things you listed as Jesus Christ. And yeah, I would think it was just this. It's not even me reading. It's just weirdly written. And yeah, I would think it Jesus Christ. And yeah, I would think it was about the things you listed as what's the point in running a game where the players aren't going to have fun. To be honest, the session we had, I guess this is the OP. The session we had just yesterday would have seen me and our Warlock downed and doing death saves, but the DM decided to leave us a 1 hit point to spare just this time. They got mad at us for not saying what our hit points were but they hadn't asked, so I didn't think to constantly say what it was. That's just what happens when you throw a challenge level 5 at 2 level 5 players. But also, we had more hit points than the two of us combined. Okay, after you have taken all of their... Oh, sorry. So they're saying that the enemy had more hit points than both of them combined after you've taken all their equipment, made them take damage before... Okay, it's just one whole sentence. Anyway, this provides more context where I even feel... Look, if the DM's entire goal... I'm getting too in the weeds, but I find it interesting in this context post that they say the DM wants to kill everyone, but he didn't kill them. You know what I mean? Like, he said the DM led us at 1 hit point and then got mad. I mean, them getting mad is kind of cringe. Like, I don't know why they would be mad at that. If their goal is to kill them, why not just kill them? Like, I don't know. This is just getting confusing. It's making me feel like it might be fake, but I don't know. Everyone else is basically saying the DM's job is to oversee a narrative. Like, I don't disagree. I just feel like maybe this... Because it really feels like... I don't know if this is true. It feels like their first language isn't English. And I feel like... The reason I bring that up is because I feel like there may have been some miscommunication here. Like, potentially the DM may not have meant to say or may not mean he wants to kill them. But the DM kind of does seem like a bit of a bad person to play with. I'm just gonna... Okay, we have a comment from Suralin0. I don't know. Properly speaking, it's not the DM's job to want to kill the PCs. It's the DM's job to betray adversaries who want to kill the PCs. But far more than that, it's the DM's job to help guide the story the players are enmeshed. Is that a word? Enmeshed? In turning a campaign into an abattoir doesn't make much of a coherent story outside of horror. I mean, I would say it doesn't make much of a sense in horror either. But anyway, I overall agree with Saralin. I think they used some pretty cool words like enmeshed. Tea and Coffee. My apologies. Tea and Coffee says, it's not the DM's job to kill the players. The job of the DM is to set up situations for decision making, resource management, and role playing. As someone said, the DM makes a heist, the players choose the background music, be it Benny Hill, Mission Impossible, or something else. Yeah, not much to say on that. It kind of makes sense. Okay, we have another comment from the original poster, week-old frozen bread. I know the DM can change things up a bit. I won't argue that. And it's true that don't have to attack the nearest person, but it's happened when I have been directly in the way of the one that ends up being targeted. I don't mean to make fun of people, and like, this is definitely not English is not his first language. You can use a comma there somewhere. Then other times it just go how it goes, and that's fine. For the combat we struggled so much with, we technically wouldn't have won. Both our characters should have been on death saves. The only reason we wasn't was down to the DM being annoyed we went down before telling them beforehand that we were at low HP. Come on, bro. I think it's like they want to kill the characters because it's their job, but they also don't want us to just leave because they want us to complete the story they've planned. You know what? I didn't even consider that. Actually made a pretty good point. I didn't even think of that. It's this weird middle ground. I have talked to them, but they've told me that's how it's supposed to be and won't really budge on that one. Kind of complicated, to be honest. You know what? I'm on the side of week-old frozen bread. Week-old frozen bread, I'm on your side.